Going back on what we were saying before about the cash in on the world title match and everything, the world title match itself, Alberto Del Rio against Rob Van Dam, hardcore rules match, which really that didn't come too far into play with like building up this match as something that's going to be fantastic because I didn't really think it was interesting at all, and they had the same generic spots that they usually do. They had one of them that I thought was kind of interesting, which in a bad way was interesting, where Rob Van Dam did some kind of like a frog splash or whatever from the apron onto the outside on Del Rio, and it looked like it hurt Rob Van Dam more than it did Del Rio because of the way that they
Yeah,
positioned
but
the
every
ladder.
move that Rob Van Dam does makes it look like he's hurt himself.
It's ridiculous.
But he actually did hurt himself a bit. He was
Uh,
jumping on a fucking ladder.
I've said a million times I don't like Del Rio and I really don't like Rob Van Dam, and I'm so sick of Del
Love
Rio
song.
being the world heavyweight champion or challenging for the world heavyweight championship. So there was nothing going into this match that I was interested
If you
in.
had to choose who annoys the hell out of you less out of the two of them,
Del Rio.
No, see,
you, you just,
I'm
you
gonna
just
say
hate
Rob.
RVD. You must be glad he's taking his vacation now.
Yeah, RVD's around less often, and he's like less in our face.
Well,
He's
if you
just
go
kind of,
if you go by that, then yeah. But if you go just by like who would I want to sit through 5 minutes of, I'd rather sit through 5 minutes of Del Rio than RVD.
yeah.
But if
There's
you're
always
gonna
the
give me,
potential.
yeah,
There's
there's a
always the
little bit more.
potential that Del Rio will shit his pants.
Only when he's wearing the white ones though. He's got to wear the white trunks. But no, you give me 10 moves in a row of one person and the other one, I'll rather watch Del Rio. But you give me 10 goddamn months of a row of Del Rio, and I'm gonna, oh my god, I'm just so
And
sick of it.
suicide.
Yeah, he's been in the world heavyweight title picture the whole year.
And essentially for the years leading up to it too, he's pretty much
Hmm.
been in like every title match for the past 3 years.
Whether it's WWE or world heavyweight title, yeah, definitely.
I don't understand what they say in this guy. I mean, I get where he wouldn't be just like a tag team jobber or something like that. He's obviously talented enough that he could be an upper mid carder or something, but he is not the focal point of an entire company for the most part.
Well, no, but he's not, and the world heavyweight title isn't that kind of. Well, maybe it will become a couple weeks from now, as we talked about earlier.
It should be. That's the
But
thing.
I don't know. I liked him a lot when he debuted. There was something about his character when he was fresh, new to the roster that is a lot different than how he's portrayed now. I don't know what happened. Like the character he was, say, 3 years ago, is a lot different than what he is now. I don't know if it's a lack of direction or I just don't know. He's just not the same guy I became a fan of like 3 years ago. I don't get it. Like,
Changed, man.
He used to be cool.
well, he's just what he's a guy who puts Mexican flags on the four ring posts.
He's not even good enough to cook Mexican food.
He's that guy who doesn't really realize he's a heel and thinks he's like a hero of the people still. I don't get it. But the match itself, decent opener. I wouldn't say it was horrible, but it was basically the exact same match the guys have had with weapons,
Yeah.
practically. Same moves, just with weapons.
Yeah,
Nothing bad.
I hated it.
Really?
I mean, it wasn't the worst match in the world, but it couldn't even keep my attention. It was that boring to me.
Hmm.
Hardcore matches are one of those things where a lot of people think that as soon as it's a hardcore match, it's instantly going to be fun. And I don't really buy into that. I really like I need to have something else other than that. That can
Needs to
really
have substance.
yeah, that can upgrade a match and it can make a good match great. Or, sometimes if they botch it enough, it could make it worse. But if you give me two people that I have no interest in seeing with a feud that I have no interest about, and then you just go, oh, by the way, there's going to be some weapons involved, I still don't care. Like, you need to give me more than that. You need to give me something to go by other than quotes like Jerry the King Lawler said, the rules are like pinatas. They're made to be broken. Okay, well, that's the whole selling point of this whole thing is that they're going to have a ladder come into play at some point. You need more than that. What do you think
My
about
fav-
this, Peyton?
My favorite part about the match was when Rob Van Dam did the kick.
Actually, my favorite part of the match was when Alberto Del Rio used his own thumb pose and said, "It's A, D, Arr! To the
Sure, it
crowd.
wasn't when he was doing the shrug.
I don't think Del Rio picked up the shrug from Van Dam.
Del Rio needed to smoke a lot more weed to get the shrug right.
That's true. Ugh.
I will give him a little bit of credit for the ending, that at least with having the arm breaker and the chair, you might kind of say that put a little bit more torque on it. A lot of times when they do moves that incorporate a weapon, it makes no sense whatsoever to how that's supposed to hurt more. Like when Randy Orton gives you an RKO on the steps, and that's supposed to apparently hurt your neck more from him landing on steps. So at least they tried to make Rob Van Dam look a little bit better and give him a reason to tap out by having something a little bit more to it. But really, just something that I have, for the most part, completely forgotten. And I hope that they never have another feud between these two, and that Del Rio takes some goddamn time off.
And forever and ever, amen.
Any other thoughts from anybody from World Heavyweight Championship match?
Shrug.
It was a World Heavyweight Championship match.
In the opener. Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So that was a
And you know how
great
much that
way to
pissed
start
me
off this
off?
pay-per-view.
Yeah. A World Heavyweight Championship match opening a pay-per-view, as
Again.
always.
Yeah.
And I looked like I was going to have a fucking fit when that happened, but still, it's a world title. Same fucking title you say held by Ric Flair, and it's opening a pay-per-view held by some idiot who can't even speak a proper fucking English sentence. Yay.
Still more than we can say for Sin Cara.
But at least it was better than TNA.
Anything's better than TNA.
And still a better love story than Twilight.
I don't know. I think TNA might have been better than this pay-per-view.
Maybe this is like the limit where finally TNA starts getting some people that they just go, oh, God damn it, if this is what WWE is doing. Either that or TNA is going to follow suit because they like to steal a lot of things from WWE, and they'll just be like, we need to have an even worse pay-per-view at Bound for Glory.
The main event's going to finish when Matt Morgan comes out and he punches the two main eventers out, and the pay-per-view just goes off the air.
And then we're going to one-up WWE. Then he punches himself out. Oh, God. Before we start getting into
gun.
Before we start getting into TNA stuff, let's move on. Real Americans versus Santino Marella and Great Khali.
No, let's go back to TNA. No!
He's American made.